Oh, hey everybody, it's TR. Today, the topic is kind of working on your guitar related. Brian of Searching for Tone mentioned on his live stream about wanting to try pulling some frets out of an old neck and messing around, putting some new ones in it. And you know what? That's how you learn. That's how you learn. And it can be brutal at first, and with practice you figure out what you're doing. And tools can be really expensive for doing refrets. There are affordable ones. My take on it is you can start out with affordable. What's the biggest deal with the affordable ones is they're not going to last. So if it's something you're going to end up doing a lot, you're going to need better tools. So my take on it is I started out with some less expensive tools, and if I use them enough to break them, I will replace them with better tools. But you should have the right tool for the job you're doing. Like cutting your frets should be a separate tool than the one you pull the frets with. Some people will use the same pliers for both, and that's not a good practice. I'm far from an expert. I mentioned on Brian's live stream as I was driving to the grocery store, listening on my iPhone. And yes, I live in the middle of nowhere. The grocery store's like a half-hour drive each way. So I enjoyed the live stream while I was traveling. Anyhow, I mentioned that I did one, and it came out pretty good the second time. So it was this guitar, and I'll tell you a little bit about this guitar in a second. But what the issue was is I tried just hammering them in and just hammering them in the first time, and this guitar has some issues with the fretboard, and I had a couple frets that wanted to rock back and forth on me and didn't want to seat right, stay seated. And because it is a refret, you know, the slots could be a little wide. What did I do the second time to do it right? Well, I had a fret press call that goes in my drill press, and I didn't bother using it because I see everybody else hammer them in. I thought I'd just hammer them in, and I didn't glue them. So the second time around, I used super glue, and I used my call, my drill press, and it worked beautiful. One thing I didn't have for doing this was an accelerator for super glue, and you know what? There's a lot of crap we pay a lot of money for we don't need to. There's a recipe online for making your own accelerator. It's a little bit of distilled water and some baking soda. Yeah, you know the trick with the baking soda with the nut? Yeah, it hardens super glue instantly. So you make this solution. I don't remember the ratio. You can Google it. It doesn't cost you crap. The accelerator's like expensive. Comes in spray bottles and stuff. You can make your own, and it worked fine. So I used the fret press to hold the frets in, and while I was holding down on it, I hit it with the accelerator and waited a bit. It's a whole process involved in doing it. I'm not going to go into that now. And you need to be proficient at doing fret level and dress, because I'll tell you what, you want to complain about fret ends on a cheap guitar. You want to feel the fret ends on a freshly refretted guitar before it has been dressed and had attention paid to it. That will cut your fingers up. So this guitar right here is Kramer Striker. Looks cool, right? Yeah. $350, $360, whatever. And I thought, oh, this will be my dream guitar. Not. You get what you pay for. It came with a Floyd Rose Special on it, not some knockoff brand, but a real Floyd Rose. And I know the Special is towards the lower end. There is one lower that a lot of guitars will have that just says Floyd Rose and it's painted on there. The Special's the second from the bottom. But it'll still cost you a better part of $100. So $350 guitar's got $100 worth of trim system on it. Okay. What didn't I like about it? Pretty much everything. Okay. Pickups. Bridge pickup was okay. I didn't keep it. It was the Zebra. I don't know what that was. It was a Zebra pickup. It was okay. And the two single coils sounded horrible. And when I took them out to replace them, they didn't even match. I mean, in construction, I realize, you know, you can have different like DC resistance and things on them and stuff. But no, they were made different. It's like, okay, well, this is crap. And then the potentiometers were small potentiometers. And when I went to pull the knobs off them and take it apart, the shafts actually pulled out of the potentiometers. The switch was a PC board piece of crap. The neck, I won't say it's super big. It felt baseball batty. Why? Because the frets on this thing were just not big enough. They weren't. Which is why it got refretted. These frets that are around here now are Jescar, and they're the biggest frets I could find. These are railroad track frets. Actually can make your finger sore playing it after a while. Makes it good for tapping. Tapping and squeals and stuff. That's why shredders like the big frets. So I replaced all the pickups. Guitar Fetish. This was my first foray into the Guitar Fetish VEH pickups. Watching my meter there. If I yell real loud, it'll get yellow. I want to kind of keep it in the green for you guys. So Vintage Extra Hot. That's where I tried it. $35. Loved. Well, what do you think? I love the way it sounds. It's supposed to sound Van Halen-y. The two single coils, I thought, they can go. Guitar Fetish sells these hot rail clones. These are called Little Killers. And the neck pickup, you'd hear it if I turn the volume up. And the middle one's there just if you want it. I figured why not? Excess is best, right? I mean, I could have left that one a single, but these Little Killers are like 25 bucks. So I did that. I obviously replaced the pots. Got these at Guitar Center after fighting with a crotchety old guy like me. When we figured out we were both crotchety old guys and we both worked on guitars, we became buddies, but not at first. I don't know if these are Alpha or CTS. I'd have to pop the cover. I did get a set at Guitar Center once thinking they were going to be CTS, and they ended up just being Alphas, but I think they were the Pro line. I'm not sure if these are brand or the Pro line or one of the other ones I got from Guitar Center. It doesn't matter. They work good. They're full size. And this is a Fender switch that I also bought at Guitar Center in Cheektowaga, New York, by the way, which isn't where I live. So my daughter lives in Buffalo. And that's where I was when I made the purchase. Didn't have a retainer bar on the Floyd. I put one on. I did it right the second time. I could show you here where I messed up. There's an extra set of holes. I didn't like the original position of it, so I repositioned it to my liking and my satisfaction. And I'm happy now. Tuning machines were horrible. I replaced it with my Godo, basic Godo, made in Japan tuning machines. So right now this guitar is a monster. But boy, I did an awful lot of crap to it. To do again, I wouldn't buy one at that price to have to put all that kind of money into it. But you know that can had already been opened up. I had to go with it, you know, once I bought it. I mean, I suppose I could have returned it, but once I got done with it, it's killer. So anyways, I got thinking when Brian mentioned and doing that with a refret. Yeah, go ahead. I had an old neck that I practiced on, pulling frets and stuff and putting them back in and messing around with. And I did end up, the first set of Jessicar frets I put in here, I blew through them. And Jessicar frets are like one of the best frets you can buy. They're made in the USA. So they weren't cheap. They were 20 bucks. I wasted a $20 set of frets and then did the refret. But in the scheme of things, compared to what you pay for a refret, $20 is pretty inexpensive, but it was a lot of work. So anyways, I wanted to show you that. Going to record a song later for you guys too. People seem to be liking those. I don't know why, but I do my best, okay? I might be shit out of Van Halen songs for right now. We'll see. Maybe you'd like, you know, a little bit of Randy Rhoads, Ozzy kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. That's the teaser. And anyways, yeah, Brian, go for it. Get that old neck, practice. Get what tools you can. And, you know, for just trying out, they don't have to be the best in the world. You can, you know, buy affordable ones on Amazon or wherever and then replace as you go if it's something you end up doing a lot. And as I said, for this guitar, it was important to me because the frets were small and they did not feel good on it. That other Kramer I got that I fixed up has the same size frets, and because of the shape of the neck, they feel fine. On this, it felt like they weren't there. So, I don't know. It's how it is, but I'm happy with it now, and this thing is a beast. And I'll see you guys a little bit later.